Hey everybody, it's me, the HappyCabbie, and today we're going to be talking about circumcision. Boy, wouldn't that just hurt like a smurf. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about the people who are against circumcision and some of the arguments that they use that, in my opinion, are not very effective. And basically I'm going to title this video, How to Win the Argument Against Circumcision. Now, a lot of people, when they refer to circumcision, they refer to it as genital mutilation. Now, while I personally do agree with that definition, your goal should be to convince more people not to circumcise their children. That should be the goal. Now, to accuse somebody of mutilating their children, it triggers an emotional response and it closes the door to conversation. So avoid the term genital mutilation. Refer to it as circumcision. Okay? You'll get a much better ear at that. Now, for people who want to know what my position is to limit circumcision to basically consenting adults, with exceptions, of course, allowed for medical situations. For example, if there's a child and it's medically necessary to circumcise that child, I'm all for it. Unfortunately, though, those situations are far and few between. It's rarely medically necessary to circumcise any child, but nevertheless, cases do exist where it is medically necessary. A lot of people say, well, in regards to male circumcision, that they want to look like their dad. You know, they want the kid to look like their dad. This is what I would say to these people. How often do you intend to compare penises with your children? In other words, is this going to be family night Thursday? We all whip out the tallywhackers and see which one's bigger. Trust me, for the first several years of the child's life, daddy is going to be bigger. Most people are going to say, well, I'm not going to be whipping out my penis in front of my children. Exactly. So why does it matter that your children's penis is uncircumcised and you're circumcised? It just doesn't make any sense. So trying to use that approach. And then of course, female circumcision, it can be done the same way. There's no reason for the daughter to look like the mother, unless of course you guys are somewhere in Mississippi where basically, the family gets together and you meet your relatives, and the family reunions, and that's where you pick up chicks. But nevertheless, for those of you in Mississippi, you know what I mean. Yeah. Oh, by the way, fun fact, my grandparents were related, so yeah, there's inbreeding in my family as well. Third, a lot of people say, well, it's in the Bible. Circumcision, in America at least, is very popular if you're coming from a Christian family. There's many passages in the Bible where it actually talks rather disparagingly of people who are uncircumcised. There are two ways to answer this. Number one, you could quote them back scripture. For example, there's a passage in the book of Acts to where they were actually discussing this, whether or not new Christians who were joining the faith needed to be circumcised, and they actually decided not. So you could respond to them with actual scripture from the book of Acts, and this was decided by the apostles. I'll leave a link to that down below. Another thing that you could do, and this is not nearly going to be as effective, is basically discredit the Bible. You could, for example, point to evidence that the circumcision did not originate with the Bible. Rather, circumcision predates the Bible, and it was just simply adopted as part of the Hebrew culture. The problem with that, though, is in order to use that argument, you basically have to disprove the entire Bible, and getting into a religious debate, you get with the emotions, and then the conversation is closed. And remember, your goal is not to necessarily just disprove the Bible and all of that stuff. Your goal is to basically prevent as many circumcisions as possible. Okay, you can't stop them all, but if you can stop one child from getting circumcised, you've accomplished something. So, what I would do, my recommendation is to respond with biblical scripture. So anyway, I'm the HappyCabbie, and I do hope that this helped you win some arguments with circumcision. Remember, we are all in this together, and I do have 2 other videos that are great on the facts about circumcision. And furthermore, I used to be pro-circumcision myself until I actually saw one. And I'm going to be leaving a link in the video description if you actually want to see a circumcision and how traumatic it can be for the child. There'll be a link in the video description. It is rather graphic. But anyway, I am the HappyCabbie, and I will see you guys in the next one.